Whoa, it's me again. 2 videos in a day, ladies and gentlemen. I bet you didn't see that coming, but at the end of the day, what's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we've got another conversation about Lavar Ball as he continues to speak on Zach Lavine. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not sure if I'm going to make too many videos in relation to Lavar Ball going forward after this point. But again, as he continues to talk about Zach Lavine, I do feel like it is important to discuss what I personally believe he said right and what I personally believe he said wrong in relation to Zach Lavine and I guess joining other teams. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to The Bull Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not they will be likely to keep Zach Lavine. It's a very interesting topic, and of course there's more news that comes out about Zach Lavine every day. In all honesty, it's getting to that point, and of course we all knew this coming into, I guess, free agency. There's going to be a lot of talk about Zach Lavine. There are going to be so many people that are really intrigued on Zach Lavine's free agency. There'll be so many people making videos about Zach Lavine's free agency. Can they join this team? Can they join that team? Even I made a video about Zach Lavine joining certain teams and how unlikely or unlikely it is. But with all that being said, I think it's time to talk about, and I guess talk about some of the reasons as to why Zach Lavine's leaving and why I believe that's complete nonsense, and what I personally believe Zach Lavine's reason will be if he does leave the Chicago Bulls. So this comes down to what Lavar Ball said in many reasons. He said that Lavar Ball is basically saying Zach Lavine is done playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan with the Chicago Bulls, and he's going to demand a trade to the Los Angeles Lakers, I guess, so he could go and play with LeBron James, play with LA, stuff like that. And there's a lot that to, I guess, uncover when it comes to what Lavar Ball said. Obviously, as I say countless times, just because Lavar Ball says something doesn't mean it's gospel. There are a lot of things that he'll be very vocal about, and he could potentially, most definitely, be wrong in all these circumstances. But I do feel like Zach Lavine would want to go play with Los Angeles. I'm not saying that Zach Lavine wouldn't want to go play with Los Angeles, and I'll get to my reasons why. I do feel like Zach Lavine, if he had an opportunity, might be enticed by playing with the Los Angeles Lakers. I feel like he's said a couple of times that he would like to go play with LA and go play in that scenario. But at the end of the day, it's still very unlikely, in my opinion, that Zach Lavine goes to the Los Angeles Lakers, and especially for the reasons that Lavar Ball mentioned in his comments. Playing second fiddle. Let's talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, Zach Lavine is playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan on this Chicago Bulls team. Now, looking at the shots, let's just look at the shot attempts for the Chicago Bulls alone, because I feel like that is probably the more intriguing one about the second fiddle conversation. So Zach Lavine, I believe this season, took about 17.7 shot attempts for the Chicago Bulls throughout the season. That's his average, 17.7 shots per game. DeMar DeRozan is slightly higher at about 19.2 or 19.3, something like that. So it's not even a 2-shot difference between Zach Lavine and DeMar DeRozan. If that is classified as second fiddle on the Chicago Bulls, then in my opinion, that is very ridiculous. I don't think Zach Lavine's playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan. Yes, DeMar DeRozan had a better season. Yes, DeMar DeRozan averaged better stats. Yes, DeMar DeRozan had better efficiency, but all of those things are the reason why many people might think Zach Lavine's playing second fiddle. The efficiency is the big difference here. He took 2 more shots, but he was also much more efficient than what Zach Lavine was this year. That's as simple as it can get, in all honesty, because in terms of shot selection or shot attempts, Zach Lavine is right up there with DeMar DeRozan. He is not playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan. I refuse to believe that. But let's just say even if he was playing second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan, what exactly is going to change if he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers? Do you think Zach Lavine's going to be first fiddle over there? He's going to be the leading shot taker. He's going to have the ball in his hands most of the time, making all these shots, being the superstar that he wants to be. Will he be that with the Los Angeles Lakers? I mean, it's hard to say, but let's be honest. I don't see him, especially if they keep Anthony Davis as well. I do not see how Zach Lavine is going to be the first primary option on that Los Angeles Lakers team either. So that's where I feel like Lavar Ball is kind of talking a bit too much, not saying the right things, because playing second fiddle, if that's the reason why Zach Lavine wants to leave the Chicago Bulls, he's going to play second fiddle with the Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to play second fiddle at the Portland Trailblazers as well. Do you think Damian Lillard's not going to be the first option on that team, even with Zach Lavine there? They might have a closer partnership, but that's exactly what Zach Lavine and DeMar DeRozan has, a partnership. They're not, I guess, one or the other. They're both together. They both make an impact. When Zach Lavine is gone, it does impact the Chicago Bulls. When DeMar DeRozan is gone, it does impact the Chicago Bulls. I personally feel like most teams that he's linked to at the moment, if you're looking at Philadelphia, you're looking at teams like maybe even, again, like the Lakers or any team like that are really competing, he's probably going to be the second option on most of those teams. So I don't believe for a shadow of a doubt that playing second fiddle is the reason why Zach Lavine's going to leave, because in hindsight, if things went differently this year, he'd probably have just as much attempts, if not more, than DeMar DeRozan, and he'd be healthier, which means he'd probably be making most of those shots as well. So I don't believe that whatsoever. But in saying that, that's not saying that I think Zach Lavine's going to stay here. I think if Zach Lavine leaves, it's going to be more of a different reason than being a second fiddle to DeMar DeRozan, just barely, from the Chicago Bulls. I think the reason why he wants to leave is either he wants to go in a more competitive environment, which at the end of the day, we built this team around Zach Lavine to be in a competitive environment, and we're going to continue to build the team around Zach Lavine if he stays here to be in a competitive environment. But obviously, if he wants to be, I guess, go to an already made team and compete there, that's a reason. Doesn't mean he's second fiddle or whatever it is. He just wants to be in a competitive environment. Or he wants to go someplace that maybe, I guess, it's closer to what he wants from a team, or maybe closer to his home or something like that. I feel like there's a big reason why he's linked to Portland, because I feel like Portland at the end of the day is fairly close to where he wants to be, maybe, and stuff like that. Maybe he doesn't see Chicago Bulls as a destination to raise a family. That's something that a lot of people in my comments were saying as well. So those are the type of reasons that I'm looking at as to why Zach Lavine would leave the Chicago Bulls. I don't believe he would be leaving the Chicago Bulls because of being a second fiddle guy. Because again, when you look at all the teams he's linked to, he will be a second fiddle guy on all of those teams if he considers being second fiddle here with DeMar DeRozan. That's personally how I see it. So that's where I disagree with what Lavar Ball has said. But obviously, it's not a foregone conclusion. There is reports that Zach Lavine will be meeting with other teams as well. Let's just get that out of the way. That's definitely expected. At the end of the day, you can't say something like you're keeping your eye open in free agency. You're going to take this with an open mind and then not meet other teams. Other teams will be meeting with Zach Lavine. Other teams will do interviews with Zach Lavine. And Zach Lavine will be listening to what these guys have to say. And he'll make that collective decision. Something to note, he would definitely be taking a meeting with the Chicago Bulls as well. That's very important. Obviously, we're going to have a meeting. So at the end of the day, that means nothing to me that he's meeting other teams. It just means that he's going and doing what he's been saying he was going to do. Go into free agency with an open mind, an open heart, and waiting to see what will happen. And obviously, Chicago will get their fair crack at getting Zach Lavine to re-sign here as well. So, once again, I ask in the comments below, let me know what you guys think about Zach Lavine potentially leaving the Chicago Bulls. Do you think it's more likely because of what Lavar Ball said? Do you think it's more likely just because of other things around basketball? Again, do you think he'll stay here? Questions, answers, feel free to let me know in the comments below. And again, if you think I'm wrong personally, let me know in the comments below as well. So, that's about it for the Chicago Bulls, ladies and gentlemen, today. Again, if there's no real major news, we'll be starting on the draft tomorrow. I was meant to start it today, but obviously Matisse Thybulle news came out. Obviously, Lavar Ball talking more about Zach Lavine came out as well. I took those two as priorities because they're news stories, ladies and gentlemen, and you want to report the news as quickly as you possibly can. So, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.